Okay, I hope I can give an explanation that offers some help of this idea of what do I do and how do I do it, what do I see, and so I hope this helps. You know, as I was thinking of this question, I thought telling you the idea of how it all came to be would be useful, and then you could find your way of doing this as well. So years ago, I went to a class, integrated manual therapy class with Sharon G. Mateo, the late Sharon G. Mateo, and her husband could look across the room and tell us where our problems were, where bone bruises were, where disruptions of membrane were, where infection was, and what was causing what. And I was just like, wow. So, and then what happened was we had techniques and we spent the class working on ourselves, on each other, and then retesting. So I could get confirmation that, oh yeah, they were right. So I started studying with them and bringing them to my office even, and having them work with us and train us all. And I took 110 classes. Now it's up to 114. And with this method, there's a way to put your hands on somebody physically and feel rhythms in the body. So rhythms in the body, you know, if you touch a dead person, you can tell they're dead. There's no rhythm. There's nothing there. But if somebody's still alive, there's something there. And we may not know what it is, but there's little rhythms that we're perceiving, these life rhythms. And there's rhythms for bone and arteries and nerves and viruses and bacteria, for emotional, for spiritual, for rage. There's all these different rhythms. And so as I was learning this method, I got to put my hands on a lot of people and see what kind of rhythms were going on in their body. How were their good rhythms, their arteries, their veins, their nerves, their bones, their heart, their liver. How were there any rhythms that weren't good? Infection, bone bruises, disruptions in membrane wall integrity. So as I got this, was there viruses and bacteria? And I started to get a database in my hands. And over the years and years and years of doing that, I got to just know it, where I could see people and notice where the problems were. And if I then checked in with my hands, I got confirmation that, oh, I was correct. So I started to see that I could do this even over the airwaves, over the phone, over distance. Somebody would just say, you know, my family would say, can you look at so-and-so? They're in Ohio and they have this problem. And I could see things. And I was getting confirmation that it was correct. So as so how do I see things is I just put my hands on lots and lots of people to feel stuff. And then I just started to know that I could see it. The next part was I met that chiropractor, Richard Bartlett, Matrix Energetics, and he seemed pretty crazy, but he could do things seemingly with his hands, and people got some healing effects. And so I took those classes, took 35 of those classes over the years, and I got to see that, oh, I can do that as well. And it was much simpler than I thought. Now, the key to that way of doing things is your state of being. So it's more about being in a state of bliss or peace, even if you're dealing with a cold. And then at that point, you have access to some command of the universe. And so it's different than we've been led to believe, though, from what I've seen is it's like instead of having to see things that are a problem and then go fix them, there's a technology in the quantum realms spiritual realms, the quantum realms. It goes with the spiritual promise. By the time you've asked, I've answered. And so I started to realize that by the time I notice the issue, it's already shifted. So when I'm doing my, and I got to confirm it by checking with my hands, checking somebody's range of motion. Is somebody lighter? Are they walking better? Did something just change? And how are they over the next week? And so over the years, I've seen that works. So the key to that is to be in this state of being, and then to notice what you notice, and then to go test it and see what the result is, because then you get more and more reality that this stuff works. And so by combining both of those, I can look inside the body and see medically what's going on and what could be shifted. And of course, if somebody's in town, I'll put my hands on them and fix them up. And if they're away at a distance, I can notice and then notice it shift and then retest it over the airwaves and get results like that. So what do I see when I see stuff? I see physical things, like I see organs and arteries and veins and nerves. I see where the spiritual pain is, where the mental and emotional pain is, and I can find where the primary thing is that unravels the whole thing. So that's what I do and how I do it. If somebody were to say like, well, how would I do it? What I've noticed is my clients that hang around with me for enough time, it becomes an osmosis thing. You start to learn how to do this, but not through the words, especially not initially. Later, you get some words, but initially, it's an osmosis thing. You get to soak in this energy, this spirit, this field of information, and something, you start to know something on the inside. And then we test things, and you can just test it for yourself when you have a friend, a client, and they've got a problem, and you just be in this state of being and notice what you notice, and then recheck. You'll start to get data yourself that it works. So that's a way to kind of start to access this state. It's kind of like being with me. You start to soak in all of this information, energy of over these years of doing this kind of work to have a knowingness in there. So I hope that helps. Sorry about the cold. It's been a crazy, crazy week. And I'm going to put this on an unlisted YouTube for us all. Okay, bye now.